The 1990 Detroit Lions highlight film is dedicated to the memory of John Russell Thomas, who for 26 years was the Lions general manager and executive vice president, and who served the team for over 40 years.
Load Rose, 61-33, on two, ready?
Great expectations. That's what the Detroit Lions provided for the 1990 season. However, hopes for this very young team may have been too high. Wayne Fontes knew better. The second year of a major rebuilding job is always the toughest.
We're trying to get a new look here. So it's not easy to build a team, and I understand that. And it's a tough job. I'm a new coach. Give me some time. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're going to win one day, soon.
Indeed, the Lions will, with an upgraded and refined silver stretch offense, headlined by the NFL's premier running back, Barry Sanders. Rodney Peete drawing to Barry. Barry skirts to the 15, looks for running room, cuts to the 10. Unbelievable. He's to the 5, and will take it in. Touchdown, Lions. Oh, that is one of the great runs. In the season finale at Seattle, Sanders became the first Lion to lead the NFL in rushing since Byron Whizzer White in 1940. Another Heisman Trophy winner, quarterback Andre Ware, proved he was a capable understudy. But in his rookie year, he was unable to unseat the incumbent, Rodney Peete. Peete was the director of an offense that tied an all-time club record with 46 touchdowns and scored 373 points, the second highest single-season total in team history.
This is still a very young offensive football team, and I think that's very fortunate because we're scoring quite a few points with a young football team, which it's a very good harbinger for the future.
In 1990, the Lions' pace quickened. Some of their steps were painful, but it was all part of building the skills and spirit that builds a winner. Their growing pains will pass, and they will be that much stronger for it. As more new faces, talents, and personalities are blended together, these young Lions will work to fulfill those great expectations and make them a reality in 1991. The Lions got their first taste of victory at home in the season's second week. Led by linebacker Chris Spielman, the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week, the Detroit defense diffused a high-octane Atlanta attack. Ignoring a shoulder injury that would sideline him for 4 weeks, Spielman registered 12 solo tackles and a sack. Wants to throw, looking right, fires into the end zone, touchdown, Terry Greer! The offense measured up as well when quarterback Rodney Peete connected on a pair of first-half touchdown passes. And although All-Pro Barry Sanders rushed for just 55 yards, his fourth-quarter touchdown proved to be the game winner.
15 to the 10, to the 5, makes a move, bang, touchdown, Lions, Barry Sanders.
In successive weeks, the Lions struggled to gain some measure of momentum and consistency. But it didn't come easy, and the growing pains were severe.
This team is still real young. There's not a lot of veterans. The young guys have to come in and learn how to win. And for some of us older guys who have been on the team who don't really have that winning tradition, we're still learning as it goes too. It's been a hard learning experience, and I think it's something that will pay off. We're just going through the hard times right now.
The struggle continued through Week 4 against Green Bay, and next in Minnesota. Stepping to his right, dumps it off to Barry Sanders, gets away. Barry Sanders led the way to an early lead before the Lions fell behind 21-10 at halftime.
Touchdown. Touchdown is the call.
The defense stiffened and allowed Minnesota just 7 points after intermission, while the Lions offense responded with 24 second-half points en route to their first win over the Vikings in 5 years. In 1991, the role of each Lions quarterback will be further refined with the arrival of Hall of Famer Raymond Berry, a man who knows quarterbacks like the palms of his hands.
I've just got to understand and know quarterbacks from a completely different angle than a lot of people do. There's a whole lot more to being a successful quarterback over a long period of time than just having a good arm. A whole lot more to it. you got to be able to handle a lot of things that have nothing to do with the game of football. And I also understand the principle of patience for a young quarterback.
As a Heisman Trophy winner, Andre Ware came to the Lions with impressive credentials. But an outstanding college resume does not an NFL quarterback make, at least not right away.
Well, it kind of humbles you a little bit, and you know, it's kind of frustrating because you see things that you may have done differently when you're watching someone else play, and you get a little hungrier to play, a little antsy.
He's frustrated. I don't think Andre ever loses patience. He's a competitor, and I think the thing is he wants to get more reps in practice. He wants to play right now, and I don't think the coaches are ready to let him get in there. He has to realize he has to wait and work within the system.
My mother, she actually explains it to me. You know, I call, we talk every night, and you know, she tells me that they're saving the best for last. And she says they just want to take time and make sure things are clear in my mind before they put me on the football field.
Andre Ware suffered his share of growing pains in 1990 as one of 3 quarterbacks in a very competitive situation. Fortunately, those quarterbacks share a common goal, and that's to win.
It's not a situation where we're hoping one guy does bad so we can get in there and play, or, you know, one guy sitting on the sideline saying, oh, throw a pick, throw an interception, or, you know, it's not that type of situation. We're all rooting for each other. We're all good friends, and we talk about it. We talk about the situation. We get it out in the open. But I feel as though, you know, I have the control in my hands right now. If I just go out and play well for 4 quarters, then it's going to take care of itself.
Rodney Peete assumed the lion's share of Detroit's quarterbacking duties. In a system that required a quick read and react mentality, Peete responded by throwing for nearly 2,000 yards and added a team-high 13 touchdown passes. With those accomplishments, he was named by his peers as a Pro Bowl alternate. This marks extraordinary progress since Peete has yet to play 20 professional games. Number 9 has plenty of tools, and like his team, he wants to use them all.
A good golfer could play a round of golf with a 3-wood, a sand iron, and a putter, and he'd play pretty fair golf. But if he played another good golfer who had all the clubs in the bag, he'd be in trouble. What we're trying to do is expand and take advantage of the talents we have now. What we're saying is we want balance. Everybody wants balance. When you have good players, you generally can get balance. We think we're approaching that. And we think it's time that we added some other people, like a tight end, a fullback, a big slot, and used a little multiple offense.
The Lions certainly have balance in their receiving corps. Aubrey Matthews, Mike Farr, Jeff Campbell, and Terry Greer provide depth for a team that sends 4 wide receivers out on every play. But it was Robert Clark who was the Lions' go-to receiver. With 53 catches, the 5'11", 173-pound Clark piled up 932 yards, and his 8 touchdown catches led the Lions.
Wide open, Clark caught at the 20, makes a move.
While Clark confirmed that good things come in small packages, the Lions' Twin Peaks rookie receivers, Herman Moore and Reggie Barrett, should make the entire Lions receiving corps stand tall in 1991. In late October, the New Orleans Saints got a heavy dose of the silver stretch. Following a 2-week absence due to injury, Rodney Peete bounced back with 16 completions for 246 yards and a touchdown.
Short drop left, Rodney Peete fires, touchdown, Lions, Robert Clark.
2 defensive starters, Chris Spielman and Benny Blades, returned to the lineup and helped force 8 Saints turnovers that led to all of Detroit's points in the 27-10 win.
Tackle and gets into the end zone, touchdown, Lions. Barry Sanders takes it.
Linebacker Chris Spielman returned to action with 12 solo tackles and an interception. And despite missing 4 games in 1990, Spielman was named to his 2nd straight Pro Bowl.
I thank God every day that I'm an NFL player because I do consider it a privilege to be in the NFL. And a lot of guys are saying, well, hey, it's a privilege for the NFL to have me playing. That's not right. There's nobody bigger than the game. The game has survived before you, and the game will survive after you. So my approach is make the most of it while you're here. As soon as I take a different approach, or as soon as I start playing for the money, then I'll get out. And I won't lie to myself, and I won't cheat my teammates or anybody else around me. I have an obligation to them to play at my highest level. And if I start playing for the money, then I will not play at my highest level, because I know myself that well.
Mike Kofer, the Lions' defensive MVP, led the team in sacks for an unprecedented 4th straight time. He joined Spielman, George Jameson, Mark Brown, Dennis Gibson, Nico Noga, Toby Castone, and Victor Jones to form the strongest aspect of the Lions' defense, the linebacking unit. Heavy hitters roam the secondary as well, as safety Benny Blades can attest. His partners in the defensive backfield include William White, the team's leading interceptor, along with Ray Crockett, Bruce McNorton, Herb Welch, and Sheldon White. The Lions defense had its moments during the 1990 season, scoring 3 touchdowns of its own. The defensive line is anchored by nose guard and 2-time Pro Bowler Jerry Ball. Ball is joined up front by Keith Ferguson, Mark Duckins, Jeff Hunter, Lawrence Pete, Dan Owens, and Mark Spindler. And rookie Kelvin Pritchett is expected to pay immediate dividends for the Lions defense. Once again, the special teams were a source of pride for the Lions. In his second season in Detroit, Mel Gray led the NFL in total return yards and was named to the Pro Bowl for the first time. Other standouts on that unit include punter Jim Arnold, Tracy Hayworth, Toby Castone, Chris Oldham, James Wilder, and the Lions Special Teams Player of the Year, Nico Noga. But despite the positive strides made by the Lions in 1990, a lack of consistency haunted the team, as evidenced by a November Sunday in the Silverdome against the Washington Redskins. Through 3 quarters of play, the defense made big plays time and again. They registered 6 quarterback sacks. They came up with 3 interceptions, and each one led to a Lions touchdown.
Picked off! William White at the 30, back to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown, Lions! And the key was the pressure on Stan Humphries as William White has scored.
From the Washington 24, Rodney Peete steps to his left, fires in, caught!
Touchdown, Lions, Aubrey Matthews!
Meanwhile, the offense was running up points like a pinball machine to open up a 17-point fourth quarter lead.
Raiders to the 10. See ya later. Touchdown,
Lions. But the Lions defense ultimately broke under the pressure of the Redskins' fourth quarter attack. Washington tied the game with 18 seconds left, then won in overtime on a field goal. It was a devastating loss, but one that may provide some value in the future.
The Washington game hurt tremendously because it was a game we let get away. It was a game that, had we probably managed the clock a little better, we'd have won that football game. Had we won that game, the fans or the media would have said, well, you have turned the corner. We have not turned the corner. One win would not make our program turn the corner. We're still a ways away, but it means we're on the right track. If we're close now, down the road, we're going to win.
The Lions saved their best for Thanksgiving Day, for a national television audience, and for the defending AFC champion Denver Broncos. Detroit erupted for 27 first-half points, and Barry Sanders burst out of the blocks for the first of his game-high 147 yards rushing.
An option play, pitch out, Barry, near side 5, touchdown!
While the offense was piling up points, the defense was ganging up on the Broncos. The Lions blitzed Denver quarterback John Elway for 3 sacks and an interception. and smothered the Broncos' ground game, allowing them just 73 yards.
Blitzing. Here he comes. Steps it to Berry at the 35. 30. Berry to the 25-20. He's to the near side. 15-10. He's to the...
Barry Sanders personally accounted for 12 Lions points, as did kicker Eddie Murray. Sidelined with a hip injury, Murray saw his first action since week 5. Number 3 was a perfect 4 for 4, and his final field goal ended the scoring with the Lions as big winners, 40-27. On December 2nd, the Lions lost a heartbreaking overtime game in Chicago. 2 weeks later, the Lions got even and dealt the Bears their most crushing loss of the season.
Touchdown, Lions, Robert Clark.
While the Detroit defense limited the Bears to 88 passing yards, quarterback Rodney Peete dissected and then destroyed Bears defenders with 316 yards and a career-high 4 touchdown passes.
Go long, goes long. Terry Greer caught 25. They'll never get him. He's in. Touchdown, Lions.
In the Lions' first win over the Bears in the Silverdome since 1983, Peete was named the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week. A week later, the Lions again gained a measure of revenge when they faced the Packers and the elements in Green Bay. From the temperature-controlled confines of the Silverdome to the frigid climes of Lambeau Field, it was the Lions and not the Packers who best negotiated the frozen turf.
And it is caught. And a fumble, and the Lions have it. Crockett takes it in. Touchdown, Lions. Ray Crockett picked up a fumble and took it into the end zone. That's what the Lions need.
Behind 17-10 in the final period, with the wind chill plunging to 35 below, the Lions made their move. The Lions' gutsy final drive covered 74 frozen yards in 8 plays. The man that made it happen? Who else but Barry Sanders?
Hand off Barry. Gets inside. Skirts outside. He takes it in. Touchdown, Lions. Barry Sanders.
The Lions' final win of the year bounced the Packers from the playoffs and once again showcased the special skills of Barry Sanders. Yes, there are imitators, but there is only one real thing. In only his second full season of the NFL, number 20 has clearly established himself as both the most humble and most spectacular runner in the league. An especially approachable young man, Sanders treated the country to a sample of his skills on a Monday night in December and drew rave reviews.
30, 25, 20, spins to the 15, 10-5, touchdown! Barry Sanders, a 35-yard run, and it was brilliant. What a sight.
He's the greatest running back in the National Football League today, and is one of the greatest I've seen in a long, long time.
Barry's my new idol now. I love the way the guy runs. When I grow up, I want to run just like him.
Barry's somebody that you hope you tackle him. You know, it's not like you're going to go out and say, I'm going to put a good lick on him. You just hope you get him down. He never comes at you. He's always running away from you. He creates hard angles to pursue him. That's what makes him that much more elusive. Barry is a back all his own. You get Barry and you contain him in a situation and he just comes out of it. So there's no magic in it, you know, he actually does disappear.
For much of his success, Sanders credits his offensive line. Tackles Harvey Salem, Eric Sanders, and All-Pro Lomas Brown. Guards Eric Andolsek, Ken Dallafor, and Mike Utley, and center Kevin Glover. But much of what Barry does, he does on his own. Aside from his obvious speed, quickness, and anticipation, Sanders is tougher than a 50-cent steak. And opponents who try to stop him quickly find that they have bitten off more than they can chew.
A player like myself, I'm a competitor, and I want to run the ball, I want to be involved in what's going on. I don't want to run the ball just for the sake of running, but I do feel to a certain extent that haven't been utilized as much as I'd like to.
We do want to run the football more. We know that. We do want to throw to our back more. We know that. and we want to attack all areas of the defense. The plays we want to use, we already have in the offense. Just a little change of emphasis in what we're doing.
The emphasis of the offense will surely shift more into the hands of Barry Sanders in 1991. And with the addition of a tight end and a fullback, the silver stretch will further expand the dimensions of the field. And with it, Barry Sanders will further expand the dimensions of the human imagination.
Dumps it to Barry. He's caught 45, 40, 35, makes a move to the 30. Sanders is free. He's to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Lions on the opening play.
Barry Sanders, without a doubt, is the greatest running back in the game right now. Barring any injuries, I'm sure that he's going to be right there with the great ones, Walter Payton, O.J. Simpson, Jim Brown, and those type of guys.